happy to agree that absolutely agents, by their mere existence, agents have to accede to at least one law of logic, perhaps two, perhaps the law of identity and perhaps the law of non-contradiction. But I don't get how you then justify those as an external world.
Well, I'm of the vein of Thomas Reid, so
can you make the argument?
You're in a performative contradiction to deny the external world. Okay,
what's the contradiction?
You're talking to me. You're using things. You have to borrow my world.
I think there is an external world, but I'm also not an absolutist about truth. You, on the other hand, are an absolutist about truth, which means that you need to provide a justification, a deductive justification for every single claim that you make.
Otherwise, with no justification.
Otherwise, with no justification is you're in anything. If you're an absolutist about truth, you can't know anything, rather.
Okay, your word count is off the hook. You're going to let me answer any of the questions you actually ask me, or are you going to answer them for me? So, the justification is the law of identity in and of itself, the mere fact that we're communicating puts you in a performative contradiction. Even if you say you're talking to myself, even in my fucking jar, the law of identity is still true.
What does that have to do with an external world existing?
Oh my God. Because the law of identity exists in the external world. There's things separate from me, which have their own individual identity that is separate. Okay? That means there's an external world.
Where does the law of identity exist?
Well, it exists as a transcendental category. It doesn't exist. It exists in mind. It exists in the mind of people.
It exists in minds. So
that's right. Yeah, it exists in my mind.
It could exist in your mind even.
That's how I make sense of the external world.
So it could exist in your mind even if there were no external world, right?
I need something to apply it to.
You could apply it to thoughts in your own mind.
Well, that would be circular.
No, it wouldn't be circular. Where's the circle?
So well, actually, it's like an infinite regression. Well, how did I have thoughts in my own mind to identify with, to create the law of identity, to have objects that are also internal? It just ends up into a circular loop. You don't actually believe the stuff you're saying? So this is...
Under my worldview, the law of identity and the law of non-contradiction are...
Is the law of identity true?
That there exist agents.
Is the law of identity objectively true? Is the law of identity... No, I did not.
It exists in the absence of minds. So if that's what you mean by...
So the law of identity is objectively true, yes or no?
Well, no, in the absence of minds, I don't think that it exists. So I don't think...
Is that objectively true? Is that objectively true?
The proposition is true insofar as propositions exist in minds.
Okay.
So I'm a nominalist. I get that you're some sort of... Well, actually, I don't even know what your worldview is. Are you some sort of like Platonist?
No, I don't have a standardized worldview that you can stick a label on, bro.
That's fair. I mean, so it seems like you just take Jay Dyer's worldview and then try to mix it into flat Earth.
No, I'm not mixing anything, dude. Okay? So my worldview is based upon the philosophy of time history. It's called direct realism. And his argument, and he refuted Descartes a long time ago, okay? I know you guys haven't caught up yet, but Descartes was refuted by the very fact that he bothered to publish a book in the fucking first place. If he's just a
contradiction that you've derived.
He published a book. Everybody read it. You read it. Maybe you didn't read it, but everybody read it. It is a delusion to sit there and play pretend that this book wasn't read. This is just. So
to be clear, is this incredulity that you're just saying? Well, it's stupid. Therefore, I think that I'm justified in believing in an external world. Is that your view?
No, it's a fact that this book was read. Okay, and that people read it and that it was written. You're arguing against it.
How do you know that I'm not just a delusion? I'm not just a hallucination in your mind.
We already covered that.
You haven't sufficiently answered
that leads to a fallacy. Yeah, I really want to go back on topic though.
Yeah. Let's look. The audience and everyone wants to hear, right, empirical evidence for whether the Earth is flat or a globe, right? So if we could try to get it back on the actual topic of the debate, that would be great.
He doesn't believe in science, so it's not. He doesn't believe in testing hypotheses using.
What does that mean? I don't believe in science. Is science a belief?
You don't believe in test.
Is science a belief?
Please, I'm answering your question. You don't believe that there is use or validity in.
I asked you if science is a belief, and you talk about me.
I'm answering your question about what I.
Am I talking about me?
Yes.
So I asked you if science is a belief, and you talk about me, and that's answering your question.
So when I said you don't believe in science, I'm explaining.
How do you know what I believe?
Because we've had a conversation already. We're talking about it. I've established what you believe based off the conversation that we've already had. So
no, these rhetorical gimmicks aren't going to work on me, buddy. You're going to need to do better.
What you've done. So
no, you're trying to mischaracterize me, and I'm not going to tolerate it. No, I'm not going to let you freaking monologue and meta conversation. No, we're not doing meta, bro. We're not doing meta.
Answering your question.
This is meta. You're trying to recharacterize the conversation and characterize me as an quote-unquote.
To use observations.
You interrupt me again.
To test explanations.
Yes, I already acknowledge they're useful.
To test explanations. To test, and I should clarify, to test the validity.
Yeah, they're useful to make you feel better so you can sleep better at night. Yes, they're useful.
Okay, so can we come to true conclusions that way?
You don't even believe in truth.
Sure, I do.